tearing worlds apart. I never told the moon anything about me and you. And I know I gotta keep on breathing, but you know it's really hard when I'm dreaming about me and you and everything that we can do. Are you gonna be on my side now? Tell me, baby, please, are you gonna stick around? Cause all my time's for you. Just tell me that you want me to. I've been looking at you from across the room, and all these lights are dim compared to you. I've been falling, 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 and keep me coming, 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 coming. And every day, and every way, I promise I'll feel the same. Cause all of you more than any other words can say.
Be pretty cool. But Rumble doesn't exist in this game.
And
but there it is. Okay.
Oh.
So it's a B5. Well, R5, but B5 technically.
Oh,
Rumble.
yeah, Rumble. Yeah, they can pick that one.
The fact that they get it, obviously it needs to be Alawi.
Yeah,
that's a really good point. Blind Alawi is. Wait, you just hover the Rumble and then you're not going to lock it in?
Just remind us that it exists.
My lord. Well, there it is. This has been the strangest draft. It's just dodge the Rumble.
What's funny is that everything's been kind of straightforward and normal apart from the Rumble. That's been the one thing that's been like the elephant in the room.
Well, the ambassador for Doran, this has been one of his best champions, and he is going to lock that one in. There is a lot of power on this T1 composition. Against T1, it was down to the wire, 5-game series they were able to take. Well, meanwhile, here towards the bottom side, Smash arms that 4th bullet and then reloads at them aggressively.
I think this is my concern, is that despite it being a counter matchup in the mid lane, you know, that is often talked about.
Yeah, captive audience does get proc there as, Showmaker looking for a little bit of an angle here as Faker has to flash.
Rumble's been so strong for so long.
Flash Petrifying Gaze comes in, and even though Faker was able to not get stunned, he is still very dead. Lucid picks up first blood, and I guess D+ are just still on the same level of form as they were up against KT, regardless of the result, as Lucid is going to have to flash away from Ona, who does get the stun off, but he gets over the wall. Still, Doran is going to come over to assist as Shiu, without an ultimate, is seeing what he can get done. Ona is in there, able to take down the red buff, and Lucid is just straight up dead. The silence comes through onto this Rumble as Ona is in so much trouble. He has to flash away. Shiu misses the flash, and now Doran, he gets poisoned, and he's looking to try and go back in again by the looks of things. The public execution was on cooldown, though. There's a dive here in this bottom lane. The 4th shot, not enough, as Smash is reloading aggressively once more. And Peyz is sitting duck underneath this turret. Oh dear, there was no option. Strange like that. Having a look at what happened here to begin with here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, the speed up 4th shot to get the barrier. Gets the root and the ult level up as the root connects. Good use of the clone to block one of the shots.
Towards this bottom side. He's clearing out a ward right now as there is that ultimate that you were talking about. Shiu does get towards his turret as the equalizer is in a pretty good spot. Public execution gets Doran in there. This turret is getting so angry and Shiu survives!
So
But he's probably there because he can't ult, because he knows that it's on cooldown.
Yeah. But also, to be fair, if he survives on 16 HP, we can't really fault them.
True. Well, curtains are being called here as Peyz is just going to start channeling a back.
Cashback money came in when he released his Ghost Blade, so...
My goodness. All right, Korea possibly in a little bit of an awkward spot as Carrier gets that Pop Blossom down, but Showmaker comes on over. Flash out from Korea. Petrifying Gaze is fantastic as there's a 3-talent strike onto Ona, and the Twin Fang is able to lock him down. Even more damage coming through. The Flash Twin Fang from Showmaker, who comes alive in this mid lane. And Shiu's overheating on the top side of the map, but DK just winning all over the place. That is not going to be a snare, but he's still taking a lot of damage. As, oh dear, we've seen Peyz in an awkward spot in this bottom lane before, and that may be revisited here in just a few moments. Q gonna connect there from Korea, and Lucid just walks on down. No need for any wind becoming lightning. He just kills him. Speaking of being alive, Shiu is down here towards this bottom side of the map with Flash up and available. There is a Pantheon in the area and a Karma with Lucid lurking. He just dashes forward. There's a public execution just to avoid some CC.
I think that's the window back into it, is find someone isolated.
What about killing Shiu? As they don't do that. Spear dodge!
There's no way.
Shiu gets out twice in a row, and now Lucid comes down. Petrifying Gaze in for Showmaker, but doesn't get any stuns. As Ona, he's able to do so. His is targeted. Twin Fangs, though, are going to lock down the Pantheon. Doran is now in so much trouble as the flash forward. He lands the poison. True Shot Barrage comes on through. Showmaker avoids it, though, and another Noxious Blast is going to connect as Korea holding Carrier in position as there's just random supportal combat coming on down. As Showmaker will crash this wave. Miasma comes in. Doran going to have a difficult time dashing around that one as this turret is just going to go. Korea flashes. Down goes the Ambessa. And Peyz is going to have to get his dancing shoes on and flashes to get out of the way of that third bullet. That is in a little bit of trouble there as we do come back. Ona does have some help from Peyz, but the Deadly Flourish comes down and Smash without a curtain call. Does mean he's a little less dangerous from that range. True Shot Barrage not exactly doing much of anything at all. Yeah, I think so too, and I'm a little bit worried about it, but DK looking to come up and defend this outer turret that is very, very low. And there is Ona making his way forward. Lucid is on in there, but that's a beautiful public execution. And they lock down Showmaker here. Even Carrier was in position to augment this. That does mean that, oh, never mind. I thought that Smash was the one that was able to push his advantage, but Peyz takes matters into his own hands. Maybe they know Smash's tendencies for Storm Razors, as he was a former T1 player.
Oh, a little ult to check Baron.
That's an odd maneuver.
They were really scared of the T1 Baron there.
Yeah, Showmaker was also a little bit scared of Faker as he flashes out of the way. It could have been multiple people coming, I guess.
Play this next bit of the game carefully. They're still ahead. They're still in a great position. But a couple of mistakes, we've seen how T1 can turn a game around.
Well, they're going to try and turn it around once again with a gank onto Shiu, and it's not going to work.
Even through like the lane swap meta, because he's just so good.
Yeah.
Playing defensively.
Oh dear, Carrier gonna have to pretty defensively ult here, but they might actually be able to turn it into an engage onto Lucid, but the Crescent Guard so incredibly powerful. Korea down very, very low as the curtain call in a choke point is not exactly what they wanted to deal with, and the Equalizer is going to break up the fight. Still, it doesn't get a whole lot of value as Lucid dashing forward flashes in, and the double snare is going to mean the disengage here for T1. Deadly Flourish, it's not quite over just yet, although, as I say that, it is. Ezreal Nico, like, it's a tough bottom lane to observe.
Yeah, but your hated pick is winning, so you feel way worse.
I do feel worse. As Doran, he might feel worse than me, as he's just getting chain CC'd. The rest of his teammates just have to kind of watch.
They kind of felt a bit apprehensive about going into that, understandably, but they do chunk Doran out, but they don't actually manage to kill him or really burn any resources from T1. Doran doesn't have TP though, so you can't really reset easily. And Dragon is going down pretty quickly.
Yeah, Harpoon's connecting onto Peyz here at the same time as Grand Starfall does come in. No steal for Ona though, unfortunately, as the Soul is going to come on through. Doran gets in there with the public execution, but Carrier's dead already. It's a double for Smash as Showmaker Mega Blast goes for the disengage and avoids getting speared from the heavens. That's going to mean the Korea takes down Ona. 4 on the floor, Peyz the last man standing. And D+ get the Soul. They're looking for Baron, and this might just be game. And he isn't required to do so, as Peyz with True Shot Barrage is going to see whether he can get this snipe. Let's see how it goes. Decent amount of value, but no worries. The 4-1 working out nicely as Xiu getting a shove into this mid lane as Equalizer goes down, but doesn't really do too much. Owner pretty happy just to have that cooldown.
Yeah, the fake out of the Realm Warp from Faker, not wanting to commit with members of D+ there to respond, but it just means another tower going down.
So tough times, as now Faker could be in trouble. He's going to try and Realm Warp his way out. He's going to successfully do so. But Showmaker was there to catch him. Petrifying Gaze catches him looking back. And the Noxious Blast are going to connect. Dash Cannon forward there as Smash walks over and just hits him with a couple of bullets. Saved a 4th one there for his former mid laner. Don't want to start off this Drake without a plan. They have so much dragon damage though, just with Cassiopeia there as well as Lucid and Xiu. Let's see whether T1 can do it. Owner can always get in. We know that. As he ults into the backline to Smash, flashes out of the way. He gets cleansed. Decent dodges there at the same time, avoids the snare. As Doran wants to get on top of him, the Deadly Flourish comes down and connects onto Carrier, and then he's able to outplay. Now the curtains are being called, but he immediately has to stop it. As Faker was looking to get on top of him, it just doesn't matter. As D+ will ace them and look to push down the mid lane.
Smash with the fancy footwork to dodge away from his old teammates. Able to survive the fight and turn it around onto T1. 17-2 the kill score, and they're going to be able to take game 1.
Damn. Well, we did think that perhaps there was a little bit of a whoopsie done as far as the draft was concerned, but honestly, I'm blown away with how well D+ held onto that snowball and never let it dissipate. This was pedal to the metal League of Legends from them the entire time, and they'll take down the Nexus.